Welcome everybody. TB Sports 27. We are coming on the air with you, and we got a big time matchup here. It's a Monday Night Football showdown between the London Bulldogs and the Tennessee Oilers. This should be a good one, or we're hoping it's going to be a good one. I don't know for sure, but there's been a lot of high-scoring games this week. This is the finale of Week 11, so at the at the conclusion of this game, we're going to see all the scores from Week 11. We'll look at the standings, and from there, we are going to be taking a look at what we're going to see in Week 12 here in the RXFL, our Legends Football League. So let's take a look at where these teams stand, not schedule, but standing. And it's, I dare say, about do or die, probably for both teams. The London Bulldogs, obviously coming into this one, have got to be the biggest disappointment in the league. A lot of people had them pegged as league champions from the bat looking at their roster. They're 27th ranked, so they're number 27 in the league, and they're 2-6-1. Now, if they can start to put it together, you finish the season with and they already got the one there, so I guess the best they can do is finish at a 9-6-1. That still puts them in the playoff hunt, right? So they're still in the mix. In the South, this is a big one for the Tennessee Oilers, because if the Oilers win, they go to 5-5. And depending on what the Armadillos do, if the Armadillos lose, then the Oilers are just one game out. Now, if they lose, then they're right back in the mix with the Voyagers. But you can see at number 16, they are right on the precipice here. And this is going to be a Monday night game, so a lot of eyes, a national audience. So you got two teams, number 16 versus number 27. All right, that's the channel 27, TB Sports 27, right? We'll go with the traditional, the blue, the navy blue, but obviously for our Tennessee Oilers, and we got to put them in the classic. Yes, there we go. There's the uni. I wish I talked about it before. I think I go into this a lot, but this is for the road uni. We got to go with the AFL look. They which is kind of the roundish numbers. I wish they had a road Oilers jersey in this game. They do not. I don't know if there's a good alternate. We can kind of steal from the list here. That's kind of a cool one. That'd be kind of interesting for the Oilers. But anyway, yeah, we kind of talked about, we picked the Tennessee Oilers. Obviously, they're more famous as the Houston Oilers, a very short run as the Tennessee Oilers. But that's why we wanted to do the Tennessee Oilers, to try to give them a second run here, the run that they didn't get. And these uniforms actually might be coming back. That's the rumor going around, that the Titans might be busting these out coming up here. So be on the lookout for that. But part of it, too, was the fact that with the Houston team, we could have moved the Houston team and made them the Houston Oilers. But doing that, these Oiler uniforms are kind of already in the game. So it's like, well, why not pick the Houston Voyagers? And then you can do the Tennessee Oilers and, bring back a team that had just such a short run. People forget, but for 2 years we had the Tennessee Oilers in the NFL, and now here they are in the RXFL. And we kind of like to make our own little storylines as we go along. Obviously, this team based out of Nashville, much like the Tennessee Titans are, and a lot of the teams are kind of have like a parent club. Like we have the Tampa Bay Mutiny, where we kind of say that they're kind of owned and operated by the Buccaneers, and that's where the Mutiny name comes from. Buccaneers Mutiny, they wear the creamsicles. Kind of the same with the Tennessee Oilers, and that kind of, upsets the Houston faithful a little bit. We got the Houston Voyagers, but the Tennessee Titans bringing back the Tennessee Oilers here, since that was kind of their identity moving from Houston. But like we said, a big matchup, and it's, I believe, now starting quarterback, we know it was Kurt Warner, but you saw his numbers, and he ended up getting benched in the early going of the season here. So I believe it should be Kenny Stabler going the rest of the way, but on the pre-show, it did have Kurt Warner there. So we shall see how that turns out, but here we go. Ray Guy, the great late Ray Guy about to kick this one off, and we got prime time football here on TV Sports 27. A must win for both squads here, Tennessee and London. I dare say for London, though, maybe more so, that if they lose and take 7 losses, they, along with the tie that they already have, they are probably looking like they'll be out of it. There you see, it is official. It has been Kenny Stabler the rest of the way. Kurt Warner got benched, which is kind of interesting because that's what's kind of happened to Kurt Warner a lot throughout his career. You know, he was, of course, in L.A. or in St. Louis. Sorry, St. Louis fans. He was in St. Louis and ended up getting replaced by Mark Bolger, and then went to New York and ended up getting replaced there, and then started as a backup in Arizona and worked his way up. And look at this. Opening handoff for the Tennessee Oilers. DeMarco Murray goes for 25 yards. Big time rush out of the gate for Tennessee. I believe this is the first home game we've seen for the Tennessee Oilers. We've seen them a number of times here on the channel. Play action fake. Stabler takes the sack. Howie Long into the backfield. See what happened there. Just the blocking. They tried to push the O-lineman there. Tried to just push Howie Long away. He was able to turn the corner, get upfield. Happy Saturday to everyone as well. Glad to have you guys here. What have you guys been up to on this Saturday? I went to, we had a new restaurant open in town. Not really a restaurant, a fast food, a Slim Chickens. Do you guys have Slim Chickens in your guys' neck of the woods? Give our shout outs off the top here while we're getting into the early stages of the game. Of course, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for joining part of the action here. This is the RXFL. And we want to say, if you're here, if you enjoy what you see while you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Tell your friends. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. We're on the precipice, but if you could hit the like button, hit the subscribe button now. Down at the 40, the Oilers are going to go ahead and go for it here on 4th and 4. Stabler saw an opening, and he couldn't get there. He got brought down by Brown. I didn't get the number on him. I don't have a Brown on my sheet here, so I don't know who did it, but yeah. So thank you guys. Hit the subscribe button, like we said. And we want to give our Patreon shout-outs here as well. We've gotten a bunch of new Patreons since we had the big breaking news in our WWE universe. Peyton Manning going to go deep to Roddy White. And this is what people expected out of the London Bulldogs all season long. That's the kind of high-powered offense you're expecting out of this squad. 60 yards for London Bulldogs here. TV Sports 27 on Patreon. Patreon.com/TV Sports 27. Links in the description down below. We want to thank, of course, our upper-level patrons, Justin Russell and Mr. Maple. Thank you guys so much for being our patrons, but a big thank you to all of our other patrons as well that joined at our historian tier. We had a big time sign up that happened the last couple of days as Kevin Owens cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on WWE Dark to win the Undisputed Championships. Folks have been signing up to check out that match. It's up right now. We just put the link in the community section as well here on YouTube, so if you get the opportunity, go ahead and check that out on Patreon. And a big thank you to all of our patrons. And as we always say, it's your support that helps keep this channel going each and every time we stream with you. And we can't thank you enough. We're also on Twitter as well, if you'd like to follow along with us there. TV Sports 27 on Twitter. It was Calvin Hill that got the handoff momentarily. So running game has been very strong for the Tennessee Oilers in the opening part of this game, but the passing game not been there quite yet. But Stabler, he's going to connect with Eric Molds. And there will be a first down for Tennessee. Stabler dropping back in the gun. There's another must-win, San Diego, New England. And because this is the Monday night game, guys, we are going to be looking at all of the results of Week 11 following this one. Nice scramble for Stabler. That's what Stabler wanted to do a play ago on his fourth down. Couldn't quite make it happen. March Madness going on right now, you guys. How about Fairleigh Dickinson, huh? In the big upset there. We got a couple of XFL games tonight as well. So there's a lot going on in the sports world. DeMarco Murray, look at that. He's had a couple of nice big runs so far in this ball game. And you're seeing the scores at the bottom of the screen. It's been a very high-scoring week this week in the RXFL, and we might just cap it off in a strong way here on Monday night. Going outside to Murray, getting some blocks, and kind of ran out of real estate there. DeMarco Murray chased out of bounds by Nick Buonacante. And not a bad defense either for the London Bulldogs. You got Brooks, Howie Long in there, Dexter Jackson, who was part of those Super Bowl team in Tampa Bay. So it's kind of a wonder why this team has struggled as much as they have. Nice job by Stabler. It looked like an identical play to what they hit earlier into Eric Molds. And here go the Tennessee Oilers. They're right there. First and goal, guys. Stabler. Touchdown. No problem. Gene Washington. Good response by the Oilers. Let's do some scores, because I was watching just before streaming here, I was watching the Tennessee-Duke game, the March Madness game, so let's see what they're up to. My hockey teams didn't do so hot today. Both Minnesota and Detroit. They got whooped. They got that whooping. They got beat down. So we got Arkansas and Kansas going right now. Vanderbilt beating Michigan. Or that's in the NIT. I was like, I didn't think they were in the tournament. San Diego State beat Furman. So Furman had a small Cinderella run. Who'd they knock off? That was, they knocked off, they upset somebody in the first round. Virginia. It was Virginia. Yeah, they've had a couple upsets. So Virginia went down. And then it was Tennessee that knocked off Duke. So there you go. This has been the year for the Vols, hasn't it? Between football and basketball. It's been a hell of a run. All right. We'll see how London handles things on their next possession. It only took one throw for them to get in the end zone last time. And they're going right back to the air. Peyton Manning going out, and again for Roddy White. 2 for 2, and Roddy White's had both of them. Man, something about the offenses this week, right? Manning back. Cannot get rid of it. Chris Dolman. When Manning was lining up too to pump that one down the field. Oh, very close. He's second and long. They've yet to go to the running game of the London Bulldogs. Of course, Emmitt Smith, that non-traditional 35 that he's wearing. Knocked away, incomplete. They were looking for Michael Irvin. That was George Atkinson that knocked it away. And that's been a problem of Peyton Manning, almost looking like his rookie year here. Peyton Manning, 20 interceptions to go with his 20 touchdowns. Boy, Manning. And it's going to be intercepted. Oh, my God. And it looks like it's going to be taken back. Manning hung on to that. Nnamdi Asomugha. I mean, Manning hung on to that one and was just looking for anybody. And then Asomugha stepped in front. Interception. Pick six. And we have all the makings of another high-scoring battle here in the RXFL. I mean, we've had 10-0 games here in the RXFL. Now, when we first started, we were doing, like, arcade mode, I think, and it was a little too easy. We had a couple of records broke, like the first, I think, games that we did. And John Elway, I think, broke Norm Van Brocklin's passing record in the opening contest against the London Bulldogs. So we changed it to competitive, as you can see in the top left, which is different. We're doing, I think, simulation style with our franchise mode. But we wanted to do kind of something a little different, and considering that it's the Legends as well, we wanted to, open things up a little bit, because obviously Legends, they're going to play currently a lot greater than everyone else. So we wanted to open that up. We got Ranger Pro throwing a dang in the comments. Good to see you, Ranger. The first handoff of the game is going to go to Emmitt Smith. On the London side, obviously the Oilers have had plenty of rushing attempts on their side of the ball here. Peyton Manning going to toss that one to Ozzie Newsome. And now once again find themselves in a third down situation. Let's take a look at Ranger Pro. Let's see what he's all about. Can I click on his profile? No, it won't let me. Okay. Well, glad to have you here, Ranger. Manning, incomplete. I'm actually controlling, so we're doing I'm guessing this is the first time I've seen Ranger in the chat, so I'm guessing a first-time viewer here. So glad to have you aboard. Hit the subscribe button while you're here, Ranger. But this is the RXFL, so this is kind of our relocation football league that we're doing. This is our Legends League, where we have all the football legends. Look at that, Ray Guy. My goodness. So you're seeing the best of the best, and it's 32 teams, and we're actually controlling both sides of the ball. We're controlling offense. Whenever the team has the ball on offense, we're controlling it. We're just picking random plays on defense. When we do our Denver Broncos franchise mode, which is obviously us just controlling one team, is that a safety? Very close. That was very close to a safety. The Oilers are in a bad spot right now. When we're playing our Denver Broncos franchise, we play, obviously, both offense, defense, as we control the Broncos. But in the RXFL, we control the offense on both sides of the ball. So we're kind of in control. And that's something I guess I've done for a while. Like, growing up, I used to always do that too, like kind of control both sides of the ball. And when I would do these kind of leagues, I did them a lot, like in NFL 2K5. I would take control of both teams, like, because you can create all the... in fact, the origins of the RXFL came from, we talked about the Summer Football League. If you guys, the old forums that I used to be a part of, and I would do games with the created teams that were on there. So if you can think back to the created teams, that's where the North Florida Cheetahs name comes from, that's in this league here that we do. I got that from our NFL 2K5 days, because there was a team in there. There was a brown and gold team that I named the Orlando Cheetahs back in the day. And, of course, there's a Dragons team in NFL 2K5. There was the San Antonio Dragons, which was the team I had for a long, long time. Now in this game, they're the San Antonio Marshals. But I'm almost thinking about, even though the color scheme is different, even though it might not make sense, I almost want to kind of just name them the Dragons, because that was such a historic team that I've had for so many years. So anyway, those were the origins of that, and I liked always playing both sides of the ball. I did a lot of computer simulation too. Like when you're a kid, you like to just sit and kind of watch the computer do its thing. And then in college football 07 06 and 07, right? That was the one with Reggie Bush on the cover, or was it 07, 08? It was Reggie Bush and then the Boise State Jared Zabransky cover. With that, I really did a lot of team creation stuff because you could really open it up. And so I did a lot of stuff on there. I created a bunch of teams on there and went kind of crazy. I did move to Madden for a time. The Madden that had Sean Alexander on the cover. I did a 32-team league there for a couple of years with all created teams. And then I went to All-Pro 2K8, and that's where I've been doing the Revolution League for the last couple of years. And you guys can check out the results of the Revolution League on Patreon for the first 5 years, and then the conclusion of Season 5 and the playoffs and the championship game right here on YouTube. Check out the playlist for Revolution Pro Football, The Lost Season. You guys can check that out there. But that's where I was doing the Revolution League, and that was the first time I kind of was using legends. Like, I always just used the players that were in the game, you know? And especially for college football, it was just random players. But doing all-pro football is kind of fun using the legends. I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. But the downside to all-pro 2K8, which is why I've now moved to Madden, is that you can only make 8 teams at a time. There's only 8 teams you can do. And there's ways and glitches where you can make more teams, but you can only have 8 teams at any one time. So at one point I had the league going with like 16 teams. And it was so hard because I had to have all these different save files with 8 teams where they would all play each other, and then the next 8 where they would all play each other, and then the top 4 teams from one, and then the top 4 teams from, you know, like I had to have all these different save files, and it was such a, and then if I changed the uniforms for one, I'd have to do it for all the other save files, so it was super annoying. And I do realize that there is like a hack out there, an All-Pro 2K8 hack, and I tried to use that, and it didn't really work for what I was trying to do. Like, you can download this program, and I spent money on it too. It's like $15-20 to try to get more like control, but it just didn't quite do what I was hoping it would do. So that's why we eventually moved to Madden. And now the downside is to being on Madden is you can't create your own teams. Obviously, we had to use our imagination with, you know, we got the Tennessee Oilers here and the Tampa Bay Mutiny and the San Francisco Demons. We kind of borrowed, you know, some of those historic team names that had already been out there. But you can't create your own team. That's a feature that hasn't been in a football game, a Madden game, for a long time. And hopefully that's something they're going to bring back one day. But the other good side is, while you can't create the team, you can use the preset Madden team. So, you know, you got the London Bulldogs here, which a lot of people play the London Bulldogs. It's kind of a known relocated team, so it's not really like your creation, but this is a, you know, a non-football team. The London Bulldogs, not a real team. But then we did that, and, you know, we're doing stuff like the Tennessee Oilers. You can kind of see the teams at the bottom, like that's not the New York Jets, but the New York Shamrocks, and of course Salt Lake Elks and the Memphis Egyptians that we got. And the Chicago team is not the Chicago Bears, it's the Chicago Wolverines. And Philadelphia is the Philadelphia Benjamins, and they wear green and silver, and kind of took that from Extreme Dodgeball. There's your touchdown for the Oilers. Big lead for the Oilers. So, yeah, so that's kind of the, I guess, the long origins there of kind of where I started and why I started. I've always been a fan, I've mentioned it many times, of spring football. I think I just like football in general. So obviously my first run-in with spring football was the original XFL in 2001, and being a wrestling fan, of course, I loved the XFL. And then after the XFL went out, I kind of got into arena footballs in that early 2000s period, and the Tampa Bay Storm was really big. And of course, growing up in Florida here, that was a 100-yard touchdown drive, wasn't it? Wow, I was given the whole history of the RXFL. The Tennessee Oilers rattled off a 100-yard touchdown drive, so Ray Guy's work just went right out the window. But yeah, I got into arena football after that. Tampa Bay Storm was really big around here. Always would have 10, 15,000 in the crowd, like all the time. Still hoping the Storm will come back one day. And then from there, you know, UFL, and then we had you know, NFL Europe. I certainly watched that. We had the AAF and USFL now, and XFL, of course, I'm back into. So I've always been a sucker for kind of making my own teams and having my own league and all that. So Now we're here in Madden, 32 teams big, and we're using the relocation teams, but we're kind of using our imagination and making up some of our own teams. You know, the Pittsburgh Sting as well is a team that's in here, so there you go. It's kind of the history, Ranger. Glad to have you aboard. Hit the subscribe button. We hope to see you here for more action, my friend. While the London Bulldogs, you saw moments of brilliance early on, but now you're starting to see why this team only has 2 wins on the year. And Newsome, did he get the first down? They're going to say he's short. So 4th and 1, and the Bulldogs with Ray Guy are going to elect to punt this one away. I mean, it's really deep, and it's still early on here. So they're going to look to punt it back, and another beauty. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Just rolling into the end zone. Ray Guy. And, of course, it is Monday prime time. It is Monday Night Football. An American Conference battle here. Tennessee Oilers of the American South and the London Bulldogs of the American North. Stabler intercepted, and I couldn't even see that side of the field, and it's a touchdown. That was on me. I was trying to run the ball. I didn't want to take a sack. I heaved it out of desperation, didn't see the other side of the ball, and yeah, I could have predicted that one. Jim David, by the way, second pick 6 of the ball game. In a rare INT from Kenny Stabler as well. So that puts London right back into it. And like I said, that's all on me. That's right here. That was a bad one. I'll rag on Madden sometimes. I'll go after him when some weird stuff happens, but that was all me. I was panicking. I didn't want to take a sack, and I just hit the button, and there you have it. So 21-14 as we're getting in to the final couple of minutes of quarter number 2. There you see our Pittsburgh Sting. That was our Patreon game, and we encourage you guys to check that one out because that was a you can see the score. That was an insane game between the Pittsburgh Sting and the Columbus Aviators. That is our Patreon game, the Sunday Night Football games. We do 4 games of the season each week here on YouTube. The Thursday night game, 1 early Sunday game, 1 afternoon Sunday game, and the Monday night game. The Sunday night game is exclusive to Patreon, so it's a little bonus for our patrons. So if you guys want to see that game, which was pretty crazy, we encourage you guys to check that out. Like we said, we've had a bunch of new signups, and I have yet to hear disappointment out of anyone. And maybe that day is going to come one day where someone feels like they signed up on Patreon and didn't get their money's worth. But I mean, I would dare say we got, I would think, at least 100, if not more, hours of content. I mean, we got over 100 videos for sure, I would have to imagine. And so we've got to have at least hundreds of hours of content right now. Bonus content on Patreon. We have the classic stuff, which is my old YouTube channel, which isn't going to be HD, you know. Even streaming from the PS4, you know, it's 720. But the old stuff was old school, man. It was the old days of YouTube. That was high school, early college days. But I still say a lot of that stuff stands up, and you know, it's going to be 480. Not HD, because that's what it was back then, but people like it, man. You can still watch it. It's still good. You know, a lot of stuff, Madden 12. That's how old it was. Madden 12 content, WWE 12, NHL 10. So we got the classic stuff we're still uploading. We're in the middle of uploading our NHL 2K10 Anaheim Mighty Ducks season that we did. That's the classic content, but Sunday, be on the lookout, because we kind of said Sunday is going to almost be Patreon Sunday. We're trying to do somewhat of a consistent schedule of a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday streaming schedule, with Sunday being for our patrons. So trying to at least guarantee our patrons that once a week you're going to get some kind of bonus content. And we're looking at this Sunday being the Sunday Night Heat portion of Clash of the Champions, which would be the first 3 matches of the card. And, of course, that would be the Kevin Owens-Rey Mysterio match, and Rey Mysterio winning that big battle royal on SmackDown. He was already scheduled to face, and that was a computer battle, so that kind of worked out very well in my favor. It was already scheduled to be Kevin Owens, and Rey Mysterio. But Rey Mysterio winning the battle royal on SmackDown just cemented it even more. But Sunday Night Heat will kick off with Rey Mysterio and Kevin Owens for the Undisputed Championship. It's also going to have the U.S. Championship, Austin Theory versus Jordan Devlin. And then the main event on Sunday Night Heat is the pit fight. Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch. You can win by submission or knockout only. And that will kick off our Clash of the Champions card. 13 matches, which means you'll get 10 matches on the main card, split across 2 different streams, 5 apiece. But to catch the first couple of matches, 2 championship matches, as well as the pit fight, patreon.com/tvsports27. Be on the lookout on Sunday. And Emmitt Smith, who's a running back, folks, catches a 48-yard touchdown pass off of the deflection of Sean Springs. And we're about to have a tie game on our hands. Sean Springs nearly had the second interception of the evening of Peyton Manning. And Emmitt Smith, when's the last time you saw Emmitt Smith running a 50-yard route down the field like that? Shaping up to be another banger after banger after banger here in week number 11 in the RXFL. Minute to play here with all 3 timeouts, so, Tennessee Oilers, I want to try to make a little run at it here, get into field goal range. And Stabler's just going to get sacked, and they may elect to just let the time wind down here, and I think that's what they're going to do. They are going to run it, and yeah, they're going to let this one wind down, and I believe that the London Bulldogs are going to do much of the same. They're not going to call a timeout, so we will head into halftime here, folks. I think I'll keep the stream going. I don't know. I tried to do the experiment of splitting it up into 2 different streams as of late to see if, the YouTube algorithm would be a big fan. Let's do some reviews. Let's look. Because when we had split up, well, I got a couple hundred hits on a 1-hour video, so that might not even matter. But my Mike Moustakis video, that was only 30 minutes, got some decent hits. But the last couple of RXFL, splitting them up in half, didn't seem to do much. Didn't seem to shake the needle one way or the other. So maybe we'll just keep it going. People see a 1-hour video, they'll click on it, All right. Let's go to the second half here. Oilers, Bulldogs. You see Peyton Manning warming up. And we're basically at square one here. 21-21. Nothing settled in the first half. Couple of pick sixes either way. Go back, guys. You see that score at the bottom of your screen? The St. Louis Rhinos and the Mexico City Golden Eagles. That was a big-time matchup earlier this week. We encourage you guys to go check that one out because that was a very, very fun game. That was the first time we saw the St. Louis Rhinos as well, and they have a pretty stacked offense. Emmitt Smith, he has not had a good day running the ball. He did have the big catch. We just saw it a couple moments ago that was off of a pass deflection. But Evan Smith was a pretty dominant force in the RFL, in the Revolution League. He spent his time with the Oklahoma City Bandits. Now, oh, look at this, the Oklahoma City Lancers.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Which that's another team too. You know, we can fool with it if we want. It's our league. We can call them the Bandits. They got kind of the shield thing. That's gonna be, you know, a bandit can have sword and shield, right? But he played with Oklahoma City many years with Troy Aikman as well in Oklahoma City. And credit to, I mean, this has happened a couple of times. That's going to be Myles Garrett who gets the sack, but we've seen it both to Peyton Manning and Ken Stabler a number of times that the quarterbacks have just been stuck in the pocket without being able to find anybody open, you know? And whether that's just me, my eyes suck, but it could, you know, it's good coverage down the field as well. So 3rd down and 10. Manning. Oh my goodness, way off the mark for Roddy White. And with, you got Ray Guy, yeah, I was gonna say you might as well punt this at a tie game. See if Ray Guy can get another, get him down at the 1 again. But Tennessee would just go 100 yards, so yeah, I don't know. And that one will go, it will be a touchback, so did not quite work out for London how they wanted. I'm kind of enjoying this. I might just do a second stream. We might do 2 games today. We might do 2 football games. The give to DeMarco Murray, and Murray turning up the field. When's our first XFL game? At 7, so if I do 2 streams, we'll miss a little bit of that, but I can make it work. We'll see, we'll see. 2nd down and 2. Ken Stabler. Oh, we locked up for a second. Stabler rolling. Stabler incomplete. Both corners have come to play in this game. Still, I mean, fairly high scoring. 6 touchdowns. 2 of them are pick sixes, but... And Molds. He got hit hard, but he brought it in, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Oilers. These uniforms are just so classic, man. The red, white, and powder blue. And Murray brought down by Claiborne. Raymond Claiborne. Maybe a little overtime game in this one. Who knows? Play fake. Stabler. And it's caught. Tyler Boyd. 3 catches in this one. Stabler took a big hit too, getting rid of that one. Quick pass, Stabler out to Christensen. Whereas Kenny Stabler, who said replacing Kurt Warner, who was the starter. You guys can see that game earlier this season between the Oilers and the LA Kiss. And Murray doesn't get too far. Murray's been held in check now the last couple of runs. Stabler, incomplete. Threw it into double coverage, but he threw it in a good spot for Gene Washington. So they're at the 44, which would make it about a 55-yard field goal or so. But they're also in a good spot where, and they're going to try to go for it again. They went for it earlier, where it's like a punt is going to maybe make you up like 20 yards or so. So here we go, going for it. And Stabler, he tried to run it before. It didn't work, and it doesn't work out again. Twice the Oilers go for it on 4th down. Both times, Ken Stabler tried to take off with it, and he got crushed. So it goes back to the London Bulldogs in a must-win game for both squads. And then Smith, ooh, he got crushed. A win for the Oilers puts them in a possible battle with the Austin Armadillos for first place. They're right in the hunt. And a win for the Bulldogs keeps their season alive. First down, Emmitt Smith. He had to just power through Chris Dolman. Peyton Manning. Knocked away. That one swatted down by Xavier Howard.
On the ready. Mike 51, Mike 51.
Play fake. Manning down the field. No. Look at this. 7 of 13 for Peyton Manning. For some reason, he just has not clicked with this London Bulldogs team. Intercepted. Xavier Howard. And he takes it well into Bulldog territory. Yeah, Peyton Manning, something about this team. Hadn't started quite right yet for Mr. Manning. And time is starting to tick on this season as well for, like we said, a team. I mean, we said it, go back and watch game 1. Go watch the Bulldogs and the Monarchs. This was from day 1. People were saying, this is your championship squad. Stabler dancing. And that one almost intercepted. This is the most we've seen out of the corners, I would say, other than, you know, the other games had interceptions too, but this was just high scoring these last couple of weeks, and both defenses have really stepped up in this one. That's a huge first down. I got a buddy asking me for Pizza Hut coupons. I might have to take a pause and take a look here in just a moment. You know, I always got the coupons. There's the give. No. Let's see here. Let's see what we got in the inbox. Pizza Hut. I assume other people can just use my coupons. One for the New Yorker. They haven't been given too many good ones at Pizza Hut lately, it looks like. A lot of their emails are just ads now, not really any coupons. Nothing happening on that run for Murray. So it'll be 3rd and 10. They want you to use Apple Pay. Come on. Stabler. Oh my goodness. A touchdown waiting in the wings. Gene Washington unable to hang on to the football. I gotta type in Pizza Hut code. So looking for these coupons. Oh my goodness. Shank.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Jason Hansen shanks it. Save up to 50%, or is that expired? Valid through 1/6. Oh, 2020. Good lord. How old was that coupon? Well, that was a bad shank.
Come on, set. 70, Indy.
I didn't think I was that far off.
Double, double.
Emmett Smith on the run. Tried to power through.
Easy work. It's easy work. And it's coming again.
What other coupons I got in here? This is the pizza coupon episode now.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Third quarter winding down. Peyton Manning. That's going to be incomplete. Wow. How about the defense, folks? Both sides of the ball.
Here we go. 18, Gator. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
Manning. Tipped up, and it's caught. No, Newsome. And London goes 3 and out. Defenses on both sides of the ball. Been lights out, folks. Ray Guy's about to... Look at Ray Guy. Come on. Even virtual Ray Guy is the best.
We got this.
Come on. Come on. This is going to have a good ending, this game. And Tennessee's got to go 100 yards again. They did it once. Does Tennessee have another 100 in them? This would be actually 98 this go-around. DeMarco Murray. He started off with a fury, with a vengeance in him. And this London Bulldogs team has clamped down on DeMarco Murray. I think I do got a second game in me. I think I want to do another football game here. I'm kind of digging this. Well, it'll come down to this third down here to see if we got another big-time drive. If not, Ray Guy is going to be putting London in a very good spot, and it's a first down. I don't know what happened there. The coverage looked like they were in zone. And it's a first down for Gene Washington. Gene, every time I hear Gene, I just think of Bob's Burgers. Did you guys see the Bob's Burgers movie? Very good movie. Very funny movie. Fantastic movie. Stabler. Big hit, Kenny Stabler. Trying to will this Tennessee Oilers squad on from, where they started, which wasn't too good, and Kenny Stabler's taken over and kind of flipped this team around. Stay tuned, though. After this, we're going to look at the scores from Week 11. We're going to see what games we got coming up in Week 12. Can you believe we're coming down to it, folks? And then, which I guess it's still going to be a little while, because if we're doing 5 games, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, So that's still 30 more games that we'll play. And then we're going to do the entire playoff run. And there's a first down. Wow, I think the Oilers might be getting ready for another 100-yard drive.
Let's go. Set, ready, 50, plant. Let's go one more.
How much of this clock can they get to wind down? And London, they scored just so quickly. That first throw of the game. But why is this offense? That's the question we've asked every time we see this Bulldogs team. Why does this offense struggle so much? 300 yards of offense for the Tennessee Oilers in this one. Molds. Wrapped up by Howie Long and Nick Bonacante. No, Murray. Bonacante has been all over the field today, so it's 4th and 3. That was a huge stop for the London Bulldogs. So Tennessee, with 5 minutes to go, they're going to elect to punt the ball here. They failed twice already on 4th down, which probably has something to do with this decision. Because if you don't make it, then all of a sudden you're putting London in a great spot to score. Well, obviously you hate to hand Peyton Manning the football back with 5 minutes to go in a tie game. There's not been any scoring here in the second half, which has been rare for this week number 11 that we are in. Hopefully you guys have... I'm interested to hear what your guys' favorite team is as you've been following the RXFL. You know, obviously you don't get to see every team every week. It's a variety of at least 4 teams. I guess I should say 4 games. You get to see 8 teams, 10 if you're on Patreon. Look at this, Newsome. Look at Newsome. Holy smokes. The Bulldogs are in business. Who's been your favorite team so far? What's been your favorite storyline to follow so far? Of course, we have the benching of Kurt Warner here in Tennessee. We have the controversy, and look at that, Alshon Jeffrey. And now it's like the London Bulldogs can do no wrong on this drive. We have the controversy in Houston, where Troy Aikman is sitting on the bench there in Texas. While the Voyagers have not had the best season in the world. Of course, the London Bulldogs of supposed to be your championship team that's struggling. Wide open is Michael Irvin, and we said it when the punt happened, is you don't want to give Peyton Manning the football with 5 minutes to go, and as much as it's been kind of a slog here today, he absolutely just made everybody pay for it with that drive and that touchdown. Oh, my laundry's done. Perfect, 'cause I can go switch it out and I can stream one more game. I'm feeling it. I'm going to do a second game with you guys. Whatever the Thursday night game is for next week. Hope you're ready for it. Back-to-back football. Let's do this thing. I'm digging this. I like playing. Like I said, it's the hit or miss with, unfortunately, with this, is you can't create your own team, which kind of sucks. But with these really cool roster classes that people have made, especially this one, I wish I could remember off the top of my head because I like to give credit, but even like the accuracy of the helmets and the uniforms and everything is perfect. You get to play with legends on 32 teams, where on All Pro 2K8, you only got to play with a handful of legends across a handful of teams. So this is kind of cool to see all these players, and it's players you forget about too, and there's players that even I learn about for the first time playing this, and then I'll see, you know, on NFL Throwback or NFL Films, I'm like, oh, I know that guy. I know that guy from the RXFL. Stabler, he scrambled a couple of times in this one, and he's got a first down. And we're going to go to the 2-minute warning, folks. It's Bulldogs 28. I hear you, Laundry. Bulldogs 28, Oilers 21. Stabler going for it all. Did he catch that in bounds? Yes, no. Oh, man. Molds jumped up and was celebrating like he had it. They said incomplete. We're going to go to Dean Blandino in the booth. Nice job by Tyler Boyd with the juke. Under a minute to play here. Or I should say under 2 minutes to play. They're going to go with the draw play. Ricky Waters with the first down. Still not calling any timeouts. Neither are the London Bulldogs. Now getting close to a minute to play here. Stabler. No, Tyler Boyd doesn't keep it, and he's injured. So you lose one of your weapons, one of your wide receiver weapons here. Stabler. There's going to be a catch by Molds. Molds is at a big game. He's out of bounds. A bruised sternum. So Sauer's going to come in. George Sauer.
Go now. 90 Wolf. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Get it.
Stabler. Both feet down? I don't think so. I think Molds just stepped out again. It's the second time Molds has been that close. 52 seconds to play here. Touchdown ties it up. Touchdown, an extra point ties it up. Touchdown and a 2-pointer. Gives you the win if you're the Tennessee Oilers. Stabler going to rush for a couple, and he gets out of bounds. So this is kind of a big one here. 3rd and 5. I mean, this is absolutely a big one. We've had a bunch of games like this week, folks. Just short of the end zone. Eric Molds timeout called, and the Tennessee Oilers in Music City are looking to put this one into the end zone. No. Timeout called. They almost, their hand is forced. They almost have to kind of pass it. Just because of the time on the clock. Stabler. Incomplete. That was Derek Brooks. The great Derek Brooks, who was there with Molds. And it's 3rd and goal for the Oilers. Stabler cannot get rid of it. So we're going to go to a 4th and goal. And I can imagine here that the Oilers will let the clock tick down and save it for one final play. That's exactly what they're going to do.
I'm going to hit you all day.
Here we go, folks. This is what it comes down to. It's been an insane drive. The Oilers have had a bunch of them. I frankly say the Oilers have been outplaying the Bulldogs, but it's going to come down to this. This is your ball game. Stabler. Is it caught? Out of bounds for the third time on this drive. Eric Molds catches it and cannot get his feet in bounds. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Eric Molds. Multiple times on this drive. Could not get his feet down in bounds. Can you believe that? A valiant effort. Can we look at the replay one more time? Let's look at the options that Stabler had. I mean, maybe you go here, but I think he gets tackled short. Everyone's pretty well covered. But I think Stabler... I think Kenny Stabler... What's going on, Zach? Kenny Stabler is looking for Christensen, if I had to guess, because everyone's pretty well covered. Well, I'm not even sure now. Well, I think the effort was for Christensen, but then he kind of took off. Or maybe we were just going. I don't even remember. He was going for Molds maybe the whole time, because he wasn't covered in the back of the end zone when that was thrown. Like, when you see it, you know... Oh, I can see here, Molds was definitely open when that ball was released. I think if that ball doesn't get tipped right there by Jim David, there's a chance that's caught. Well, Molds did go out of bounds. It's also didn't help. That could have been a penalty. But that also messed things up, where I think that's where Stabler was looking for it. But the tip... And Molds made the catch, but 3 times on this drive, he was just out of bounds, and you can clearly see not in bounds. So the London Bulldogs, their season is still alive, folks. So stay right there, Zach, because we already said we're going to stream a second time here, because I'm kind of digging this. I'm into the football. I got to change my laundry, though. Got to do my laundry. So we're going to look at the scores here from Week 11. We're going to play one more game. We're going to stream one more game with you guys. And then we're going to watch more football. We're going to watch the real XFL. I think the Vipers game is first. So let's see what we got here. Let's advance to week number 12. We'll look at all the scores from the games you guys didn't get to see. And then we are going to look at some standings. And we'll see what our Thursday night game is going to be this week. So let's take a look at it and see what we had shaping up. This is always the most exciting thing. You see how everything turned out in Week 11. So here we go. We see the close games continue. This was the week of... Look at all these scores, how close all these games were. It was the Dublin getting the win over the New York Shamrocks. A very... it just seems fitting. It was St. Patrick's Day was recently, so the Celtic Tigers and the Shamrocks. What a fitting game. Tight one here. Memphis and Salt Lake, both kind of down on their luck teams. Holy smokes, folks! That's the upset right there. The Chicago Wolverines have lost for the first time this season. An upset over Joe Theismann, who did not have a great game. Dan Marino and the Cougars, who I think only had like 2 wins on the year, undefeated no more. The Chicago Wolverines lose to the Chicago Cougars. Holy smokes, folks. That's your upset right there. And there's another big upset. The San Antonio Marshals, who have been winning a lot lately, knock off the Philadelphia Benjamins, the 6-win Benjamins. The Marshals climbing their way into the playoff hunt there. The Armadillos win, so with that win, with the Armadillos and the loss by the Tennessee Oilers, That puts Austin further ahead into their playoff run. There's a big win, too. The Mutiny knocking off the Oklahoma City Lancers. And the North Florida Cheetahs, they knock off Patrick Mahomes and the Brooklyn Beat. So we've had some big-time upsets this week. Holy smokes, we already saw that game. The Desperados with the win over the San Francisco Demons. A big blowout, the Atlanta Dirty Birds knocking off the Orlando Wizards. Aftershocks, that's going to pretty much end the New England Nightmare season. 31-14. They're pretty much done for. The London Monarchs continue their winning ways. They get the win over the Toronto Huskies. And these games we all streamed with you, so you already know the results here. Wow, what an interesting week. So let's go into week 12 and see what we got. So obviously the games that we know for sure. So our Thursday night game that we said we were going to stream, or this is, we got a couple Thursday night games. It's Thanksgiving week, I suppose. So we got 2 Thursday night games. So I guess we got to kind of figure out what we want to do here, because typically it's only 1 Thursday game. Do we just do both of them and then only pick one game? I didn't even think about Thanksgiving. What should be the better one, the Elks and the Redwoods, or the Sting and the Desperados? Pittsburgh, Dallas, or Salt Lake City, Sacramento? Sacramento. Let's see. We're also going to have the Voyagers and the Rhinos, which is going to be your Monday night game. And then your Sunday night, this is your Patreon exclusive. The Memphis Egyptians traveling to take on the Tampa Bay Mutiny. I believe that should be a National South matchup. And let's look at our early games and see if there's one that kind of stands out as what could be a kind of a big battle that we would want to do. That has the potential to be a big one. The Lumberjacks and the Benjamins. The Wizards and the Lancers is one too, just because we haven't seen the Orlando Wizards yet, and the Lancers are a pretty good team. You also have Tom Brady. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Tom Brady and the Atlanta Dirty Birds against the Chicago Wolverines. That's Brady against the best team in the league. Kind of almost leaning more towards that game now, just because, it's Brady. Aviators Marshals would probably be a big game considering how many wins the Marshals have been racking up lately. Oilers and Golden Eagles, Celtic Tigers, and the Aftershock. I am going to change things up a little bit this week because it's my league and I can do that. So instead of doing the 2 Thursday games, we'll just skip right past them. Because we can't decide which Thursday game do we do. It's Thanksgiving, right? It's Thanksgiving. Maybe you guys want to see the Thanksgiving game. I don't know. But the Desperados, the Sting's not really in any kind of big spot, right? It's not really kind of a big game. And the Redwoods, probably going to blow out the Elks here. So since there's 2 Thursday games, we're not going to do that. We're going to do the Monday night game. We're going to do the Sunday night game on Patreon. But our other games, instead of doing a Thursday game, because we do 2 Thursdays, we're going to do 2 early games, 2 Sunday games, instead of the Thursday game. So we are going to do the Wizards and the Lancers, because we haven't seen... I'm trying to think of the teams we haven't seen yet, and I think the Wizards might be the last team that we have yet to see actually play. I think everyone else we've seen play at least once. I'm trying to go through the list here. Let me go back to like a random week and see if there's a team that we just haven't seen yet. Yeah, I think the Wizards might be the last team. So That's what we're going to do. We are going to do and we're going to do this stream right now, since it's first. We're going to do the Wizards and the Lancers. We're also going to do the Dirty Birds and the Wolverines. And then your primetime game, we'll do the Marshals and the Aviators. And then we'll do our Sunday night game and our Monday night game. Boom, that's how we're going to do it. So we're going to end this stream, but we're coming right back. We're coming back with a second game. For the first time, you guys are going to see the Orlando Wizards as they go one-on-one with the Oklahoma City Lancers.